Welcome to the Thursday edition of our AI News Podcast. I am Taylor, and dude, the AI space is just moving ridiculously fast this week. I have 4 massive stories to cover today, and I am so excited.
And I am Morgan. Yeah, it feels like every single day someone is trying to reinvent how we use computers and interact with software. Let's try to separate the actual signal from the hype. What is first?
All right, so first up, I saw this crazy piece on TechCrunch. Notion is basically turning its whole workspace into a massive hub for AI agents. It is honestly so cool to see them evolve like this.
Wait, Notion? Like the note-taking and wiki app? I mean, they already added some basic AI writing tools a while ago, but what exactly do you mean by a hub for agents?
Exactly. So they just launched a brand new developer platform. It lets teams connect external AI agents, custom code, and outside data sources directly into their Notion workspace.
Okay, I see what they are doing. So instead of just generating text, these agents can actually fetch live data or execute specific tasks right inside your team's documents.
Right. Just imagine you have an agent that automatically updates project trackers based on GitHub commits, or one pulling real-time Salesforce data right into your meeting notes.
I guess that sounds highly useful for workflow automation, but honestly, does anyone really want autonomous bots messing with their company wikis? I can see that going wrong quickly.
Yeah, that is a totally fair point. Security and data permissions will be key. You are giving third-party code access to your core internal company knowledge base, which is risky.
Exactly. They will definitely need to build strong guardrails. But it is clear Notion was to be the underlying operating system for your team's AI, not just a static document.
Totally. It is alive now. If they can pull it off without it becoming a chaotic mess of hallucinating bots, it could be a massive deal for enterprise productivity.
I agree. It is a big shift. We will have to see how developers actually use the platform in practice. What is the next story you have on the list?
Okay, this next one is wild. Murati's new startup, Thinking Machines Lab, just dropped a research preview of something called interaction models. It is a native multimodal architecture.
Oh, interesting. Murati, formerly the CTO of OpenAI, right? So what exactly makes this different from, say, GPT-4o's advanced voice mode? Is it genuinely new for the industry?
It is a completely new paradigm. Standard models are turn-based and freeze perception while generating, but this TML model processes 200 millisecond chunks of audio, video, and text simultaneously.
Hold on, let me get this straight. It processes everything in parallel without needing an external voice activity detector? That sounds incredibly complex to engineer.
Right? It is true real-time, full duplex exchange. But the coolest part is how it handles deep reasoning while constantly reacting to those tiny 200 millisecond chunks of data.
That was exactly my next question. How does it maintain a complex train of thought if it is constantly being interrupted by new real-time sensory inputs from the user?
It actually runs 2 distinct components in parallel. There's a real-time interaction model for the continuous back and forth, and an asynchronous background model handling the heavy, sustained reasoning tasks.
Ah, okay. So one part keeps the conversation flowing naturally, while the other part does the actual thinking in the background. That solves a huge latency problem in human-AI interaction.
Exactly. And it shares the full conversation context between both models continuously. You can literally interrupt it seamlessly, and it won't lose its train of thought. It is real sci-fi stuff.
I will remain a bit skeptical until I see it handle real-world messy audio in a loud room, but the architecture itself is brilliant. All right, what else do you have?
So, keeping with the theme of entirely new ways to interact, Google DeepMind just introduced an AI-enabled mouse pointer powered by Gemini. Dude, it looks absolutely like magic.
A mouse pointer? Really? We have been using the exact same cursor design since the 1980s. What exactly makes a mouse pointer AI-enabled? Does it predict where you want to click?
Way better. It captures the visual and semantic context right around the cursor. You can just point at something on your screen and speak in natural shorthand to your computer.
Wait, so if I hover over a complex chart in a spreadsheet and just say, summarize this, it knows exactly what I'm referring to based on the cursor's location?
Right. Gemini gets it done without you ever switching to a separate AI window. It totally eliminates the friction of copying, pasting, and explaining context to a chatbot.
That is actually pretty clever spatial awareness. But I mean, the privacy implications of an AI constantly analyzing everything around your cursor are definitely concerning.
Yeah, that is a really good point. It would have to process your screen continuously. DeepMind released experimental demos showing 4 interaction principles, so it is still early days.
Is it running locally on the machine or sending all that visual data to the cloud? Because sending a constant screen feed to Google servers sounds like a security nightmare.
The demos are experimental right now, so it is hard to say. But dude, imagine the massive productivity boost. It integrates AI into the operating system at the lowest possible level.
It definitely bridges the gap between user intent and computer action. If they can make it run locally to protect user privacy, I could see this becoming a standard OS feature.
Okay, last up for today. TechCrunch reported that a new app called Poppy just debuted, and it is a proactive AI assistant designed to organize your entire digital life.
Proactive is a very strong word in tech. Usually, these AI assistants just sit there and wait for you to ask them things. How exactly is Poppy organizing my life?
So it securely connects to your calendar, email, messages, and other daily services. Then, instead of waiting for a prompt, it surfaces reminders and suggestions based on what is happening.
Oh, I see. So if I get an email about an upcoming flight, it automatically blocks my calendar and reminds me to pack without me explicitly telling it to do so?
Yes, exactly like that. It sounds a lot like Google Now from a decade ago, but powered by modern large language models. It actually understands the deep context of your messages.
That is a huge distinction. It is not just parsing dumb keywords. It comprehends the nuance of your conversations and anticipates what you need before you even ask.
Totally. I have to admit, the idea of an AI that actually connects the dots between my chaotic inbox and my schedule is highly appealing. It sounds incredibly useful.
It does, but again, you are handing over the keys to your entire personal digital footprint. Establishing trust is going to be the absolute biggest hurdle for the Poppy team.
For sure. But if Poppy can actually save me from missing crucial meetings or forgetting to reply to important emails, I might just be willing to risk the privacy trade-off.
It is the classic modern convenience versus privacy debate. We will have to see if their execution lives up to the grand promise or if it just becomes notification spam.
Yeah, only time will tell on that one. Well, that is all we have time for on this packed Thursday episode. The AI landscape is shifting so fast, it is honestly hard to keep up.
It really is a full-time job just watching it evolve. Thank you all for tuning in, and remember to stay critical of the hype. That is it for today. We will be back tomorrow with more AI news.